And with it being Domestic Violence Awareness Month, as we were saying, it is fitting that a new TV movie is coming out where a hip-hop artist is telling her personal story of abuse as well. Behind the men who changed hip-hop is the woman who knows the truth. That is what the previews for the highly anticipated TV movie where legendary hip-hop artist Michel'le is sharing the story of her life and shedding light on some of the biggest names in hip-hop history. Rayon Nicole Brown, who is playing Michel'le in the upcoming Lifetime original movie, and Michel'le herself are joining me to talk about surviving Compton, N.W.A, Suge, and Michel'le. Ladies, thank you so much for being with me this morning.
Of course. Thank you for having us.
Yeah.
Well, Michel'le, let me start with you. I, was a huge fan of your music. We, of course, know you from your hits like No More Lies, of course, your unique voice. You seem to be like on top of the world when your music hit and everything was so amazing. Were people kind of shocked to hear that there was another story?
Yes, I think people are shocked because they still haven't seen the story. It hasn't aired yet. Me talking about it, I think, is shocking, and I think that's what all this rage is about, because I think they want to see how I was really living in that time. And I can't lie, there was fun times and there were bad times back then, but it was what I was going through.
What are you kind of hoping with this story? Like you said, it hasn't aired yet. I know a lot of people are waiting to see it, to kind of see the full scope of it. But what were you kind of hoping just women in general are going to take away from your story?
Oh, no, I want men and women to take away from this story strength, perseverance, love. I mean, just, my God, you know, compassion. I want men to understand who we are as women, and I want women to understand who men are as men. And when I say that, I say, at 10 years old is when a little girl has her power. She should start knowing her power at 10. A man should start understanding who his mother is at 9. Because then you'll be able to respect and treat each other nice and equal at some point. You know, I know the man is the head of the household and the woman is there. I know that. It's the old 50 thing. We burn the bras and everything. But the point is that we're not mind readers. So men, we have to work harder on ourselves as well. Because I think when I was getting beat back then, I didn't know how to communicate with him, and I think that's still going on to this day. I think men beat women because they don't know how to communicate, and that's their first, I think, way that they make contact with us. Because when you hit us, we're listening now. If we wasn't listening before, we got it. And I want this movie to take all that away and just jump. It's no life for anybody. When I look at it, I'm surprised I lived that. So I hope they take away from it strength and perseverance and just keep going.
Right.
Because I'm sure women beat men as well. I'm sure there are men that are getting beat by women.
And I know, Rayon, you know, Michel'le is really opening up, really showing some hard times in her life. How did that feel to kind of portray that as she's like narrating it and reliving this?
You know, as an actor, it's a phenomenal experience because you are always looking for that role that you really have to dig deep. And I did just that. Having to play some of the scenes where, you know, Michel'le is getting abused, it's like in those moments, as an actor, you have to make those real for you. And there were scenes that I broke down after and went to the director, and it kind of knocked me off my rocker a little bit, because I was like, this was her reality. You know, I thank God that wasn't a story that was the life that I lived, but to recognize that there are so many women in the world that go through things like this, I think that just makes telling this story that much more important. I think that women and men alike will see this story and realize that, one, they deserve better than an abusive relationship, and two, seeing Michel'le and her fiery personality, know that it doesn't have to define who they are. So an incredible experience for me as an actor, but unnerving for me as a human being.
I think that makes complete sense. And I know after Straight Outta Compton came out, and of course, Michel'le, you were not a part of that story. You're coming out with your own story, like you said, being very empowered to do that. And I know everybody cannot wait for it to premiere this weekend. Thank you so much for such a powerful message.
Thank you.
Thank you for sharing it.
Surviving Compton, Dre, Suge, and Michel'le premieres this Saturday, October 15th on Lifetime. Stay where you are. The Morning Blend will be right back.